So for me to make a decision about what I want to do and whether I feel this job is right for me, I need to evaluate the positives and negatives of the job. So the positives of this job is that I have experience coaching young children through previous work experience. So I worked at a coaching company called JA Sports, and that was for a period of time throughout the summer of 2017. So that was working with young children between the ages of 5 and 13. So that's within the group that is asked for in the job description, so 5 to 10-year-olds in the job description. I have experience of working and coaching young children, so I can provide good experience of that and provide adapted sessions to that age group. Another positive is that I have good social skills with both children and adults and parents. So not only did I have to do that for that coaching company as well, I obviously had to give feedback to the parents and update them on the progress of the children, but I also have experience of that through my job assisting a childminder. So assisting a childminder means that obviously again I have a good relationship with the parents, talking to them about the progress of their child, talking to them about what the child has done that day, and that also ties into the 3 months experience part of the I think it was the job description or person description. It's asked for 3 months. Yes, it was the person description asked for the 3 months work experience of being around 5 to 17-year-olds, which I have done from assisting in a childminder. Another positive is I have good leadership skills. So throughout high school, I was a sports leader, chosen and appointed by the PE teachers and staff at the school. So I have experience of leadership in both my own age group and younger children, leading sports days, leading other sporting events such as cricket and other sporting events such as football and things like that. And also my leadership skills can be shown through my coaching experience again. Another positive is that I'm DBS checked, so this isn't explicitly included in the job description or person description, but that is going to be necessary for the job description if I'm working with children, and if I'm already checked, that's just another thing ticked off that the employer doesn't have to do. Another positive is I have a full understanding of the skills and tactics of football through my many years of playing. So I've played football since a very young age and continue to play now. Therefore, I have a full understanding of the skills and tactics of football. I've played for my county. I've played for my city as well. So I have a high level of knowledge and experience of playing football, which I can use and transfer onto the children that I would be working with. Some of the negatives of this job include that I do not have a level 1 football qualification as of yet. Obviously, I would have to go through the process of getting that, which could require an extensive period of time where I'd have to go and do that. And I'm depending on when that period of time was, I don't know if I would be available to do that or commit to that for such a long period of time. Another negative is that I have a lack of set working hours in the description. So it was between 8:15 and 12:45, Monday to Friday. There's no set period of time, which means I would have to work around the job with uncertainty towards when I can plan other things. Social life is very important to me. In fact, being around my family, therefore not having set hours to work around could mean I can't commit to those things with family, something which does not appeal to me particularly. Another negative is that I'd also have to get the train or drive due to the location. I can't drive as of yet. I am learning, but I haven't passed as of yet. And getting the train obviously would add up each day, each week, each month. It would be very costing. Another negative is that coaching is not my preference, job-wise. It doesn't particularly interest me and I don't find it particularly fulfilling. Don't get me wrong, I love helping other people and being able to help other people develop and grow as individuals. However, I don't find it the most enjoyable thing. I have lots of experience in coaching, therefore I can kind of have an idea of what it's like, and it's not something that I would want to pursue as a full-time career in the future. In addition to this, the pay is not as good as the other jobs that I will go into. Obviously pay it's not the most important thing, but it is quite important if it's something that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. So yeah, from evaluating that job, I feel that being a football coach isn't something that I want to do in the future. It's not something that I want to pursue. The next sector is sport and exercise science, so the job I chose to look into for this was a sports psychologist. So the job description for this is providing athletes with psychological counselling related to performance, developing mental strategies that enable athletes to cope with and overcome setbacks or injuries, conducting research on an athlete's mental, emotional and physical attributes in order to effectively coach and improve performance levels, identify mental strengths and weaknesses that contribute to or affect an athlete's performance, enhance an athlete's performance through visualization techniques, help athletes to manage on and off field pressure and anxiety, advise and treat athletes with mental health conditions, and the pay for that is £22,000 a year. It's located in central London, and the working hours are 9 to 5. So overall, the job description is very specific, very tasking, and requires very clearly a lot of specialised training and further education in psychology. And that's noted in the person description as well. So the person description is a confident communicator, excellent listening skills, expertise in using breathing, relaxation and/or cognitive techniques, superb research and counselling skills, passionate about enhancing the self-efficiency of athletes, ability to communicate and interact closely with athletes, coaching staff and administrative personnel, and the bachelor's degree in psychology. So there, like I mentioned, that you have to have that degree in psychology due to the nature of the job, providing athletes with psychological counselling and mental strategies. You need to have a full in-depth understanding of how the mind works in relation to sport and enhancing performance, and bettering mental health so that individuals can have the best performance possible without those distractions. Mental health is just as important as physical health and well-being, so if you are inexperienced in that, it can be very detrimental to the individual if you're trying to give them advice or techniques that can be used wrongly because of your lack of experience. So my evaluation for this job then, the positives I could find for this was that as an individual, I find the psychology of sport really interesting. During my time studying sport and exercise science, I found the psychology unit to be really interesting, and I found myself really engaged with it. I take great interest in how the mind works, not just in relation to sport, but in relation to life in general and how individuals think. Therefore, I would likely find it enjoyable to have that as a job and something that I do every day, because if I find it enjoyable now, working with something that I enjoy would make my job enjoyable. Another positive is that I'm quite confident. So again, from my experience of coaching and working with children and adults as well, I have good communication skills with all age groups and abilities. So I'm a confident communicator, which is in that person description, meaning I can get ideas across well with any clients or with any co-workers. Again, similarly, I have good listening skills, so that's obviously developed through experience of caring for children, through that experience of assisting a childminder, and through babysitting experience as well. Children are very vulnerable and very emotional as well, so listening skills are very important when working with children, to ensure that they feel validated, and especially when children are often undermined, and listening skills are very important for the development of children. Therefore, I feel that that's a positive for me because I have experience of that. The pay of this job is also a positive because it's a good salary in comparison to the coach or the outdoor activities instructor as well. So that's always good because if you're going to be working in an industry for a long period of time, having a good starting salary is going to mean that you're living a sustainable life. Another positive is that I feel like I'd find this quite fulfilling. Again, I'd really like to help other people and help with their development or anything like that. So I feel like I'll feel like this is a very fulfilling job that will make me feel positive about the job that I am doing for other people. Negatives include that I don't have much experience in psychology, so I'm yet to go through university. So to get a bachelor's degree in psychology, you'd have to go through multiple years of university to reach that, and potentially have to go on to join like the Sports Psychologist Society perhaps, as well, which would take a lot of time and commitment. I'm happy to do that, but it's whether if I'm committing to a university course and then I don't end up liking it, what do I do then? In addition to this, the job would also require train journeys, which therefore builds up an expense. So it's approximately £30 to and from London. So that would add up each day and cause a massive expense for me to travel to work. Another negative is that I have a lack of counselling skills, so that was in the person description and also a part of the job description. I have never had to counsel anyone, of course. Don't get me wrong, I have obviously supported friends and given them advice, but never officially counselled anyone. Therefore, I have no experience of that, which is something that not only would the employer not be looking for, but also it means that perhaps I might not feel confident in that and might not enjoy that when it comes to actually using those skills for the first time. I also have a lack of extensive research skills. So I've done a bit of research through my sports science at college. However, I don't have superb research skills as required in the person description. Overall, I think the main positive of the job is that I feel like I'd really enjoy it and find it very interesting. I'm quite sympathetic towards people, and feel like I'd be a good communicator. However, I have an extensive lack of experience in the field, so I don't know if I would enjoy it or not, or whether I would be any good at it or not.